Let's see. All right, man. We are here. This is what, episode number 4?
4.
Welcome to episode number 4 of Married, Mature, and Unfiltered. Up in this BI. Up in this BI.
Hello.
Up in here. Like a little bit more round of applause right there.
Hello.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Hello.
Please.
Hey, hello.
Please sit down. What's good?
Nothing. It's Friday. It didn't feel like a Friday.
That's why I asked you earlier, right?
This week has felt like a series of Mondays, back to back to back to back.
Right.
To back.
It flew by for me.
It definitely flew by. And I feel like I got a lot accomplished. I feel like I had a lot of. Oh, I'm sorry. How am I?
Go ahead, man. It's all good. We here. It's natural flow.
I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you cut yourself off just now. It's okay.
Because I was thinking, how are you showing up today?
We answer the questions without asking the question. Or do we answer the question? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So go ahead.
I just didn't want to jump the gun.
A whole week of Mondays.
A whole week of Mondays.
How does that make you show up, though?
It makes you show up like I had to stop and do like a gratitude thing about all that I accomplished this week because I felt like I was just going.
You did that today?
And I stopped for a moment and I was like, you really got a lot accomplished.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't get everything on the list accomplished, but you got a lot of shit accomplished.
Yeah.
Bitch, you doing a good job.
Yeah,
Bitch,
you had a crazy week.
Good job. Bitch, you doing a good job.
All right, can you in the beginning of the video?
Oh, I forgot.
YouTube was about to put us in jail.
Oh man, my bad.
Oh God. I like the tune though. It's all good. But yeah, you had a very solid week. Interesting week. A week of learning and
labs, business stuff, refocusing, aha moments.
Yeah.
Pivot confirmations.
Yeah.
A lot of pivot confirmations.
Yeah. That's good. That's good, man. So you showing up today with clarity.
I'm showing up with clarity. I'm also showing up with a balanced gut.
Oh, hey, shout out to that. Hey, shout out to that. You must explain this to the people now that you've said it.
For those who don't know, I am a wellness coach, and I am currently my favorite client.
I love it.
I have diverticulitis. It's a situation with your colon where you have like these pockets in your colon that sometimes can get infected and often affects your digestion.
Yeah.
And I have been really struggling with digestion for before Thanksgiving. I had a really bad, we go into the ER situation.
Yeah, we did have a crazy night that night.
A lot of research, a lot of deep diving on what I needed to help me. So digestive enzymes, fiber, all those things, and incorporating them this week into the routine, the regimen that's got new pills and new powders.
New supplements now.
And I feel so much better.
That's good, man. Shout out to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Gut health.
Quick one right there.
Gut health is very important.
Yeah.
Your gut is like your second brain.
Yo, it's like in many cases, it's like your first brain.
Yeah.
Like it lets you know before you know that you have a situation. It lets you know you got a situation. Then your brain be like, oh yeah, you got a situation.
You said.
You said.
So it feels really good that we're all in alignment right now.
That we're all
we are all.
Yo, it's so hilarious how you refer to your body parts and like they're separate from you. We
have conversations.
We got to have a conversation.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
We are all settled down now. Well, good, man. I'm happy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because, it was a little rough. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe we'll talk about the effects of it after dark.
Yeah. Maybe.
The debt. We'll talk about the debt.
Lord, the debt. Oh, gosh.
Keep y'all stomachs together because a stomach ache will put you in debt.
You will be racking up debt for some days.
Tune in to Patreon. We gotta talk a little bit about that. We have other topics, but we gotta talk a little bit about that.
So how are you showing up today?
I'm showing up. I'm proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what you proud of?
Of all the stuff that's on the horizon for you and the stuff that you accomplished this week.
Thank
so
you.
I've actually felt pretty happy about what's going on with you and stuff. So
thank you.
Yeah, that's how I'm showing up today. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we're going to just say F the world together. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, y'all, some of y'all about to get hopped over.
Or y'all might not know what's going on. We're just going to pass you by.
We're gonna hop over y'all. And then I've been preaching this for a long time, but, you know, we can get to that on another segment. Yeah, today we're here for a different reason.
Yes, we are.
So we already covered our three bases. You know what I'm saying? What's been on your mind this week?
Hold on.
Okay.
We do have another vibe thing. We need to celebrate something today.
What's today? The 5th? What we celebrating
today? We celebrate 1 year since we moved out of the DMV.
Hey, we left the DMV 1 year ago today. Dang. Tomorrow will be a 1 year anniversary of being in Florida.
Yeah, of moving.
Damn, 1 year. So this is our 1 year anniversary of moving to Florida.
A Floridian.
Huh?
A Floridian.
What's that? What do you mean?
No,
I'm from Rochester, New York.
That driver's license say you live in Florida.
Driver's license don't define me. I still got my New York license from when I was in high school.
Oh my gosh, how did you keep that?
I think I got that with my school ID, one or the other. But you know how it is. You're from Long Island.
Yeah,
be quiet.
I know. I don't got no driver's license from.
Yeah, Florida's a temporary stop for us. Cheers.
Yeah, but
cheers.
I love a good Florida driver's license, because it gets you discounts.
Yeah, Disney and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's you know, it's been a year, yo. It's blown by.
It has. So much has changed.
Yeah, so much has changed since then. Man, I don't even know. We had to recap this.
Yeah.
You know, outside of this forum. Yeah. We're here to talk relationship, love, or whatever, on this particular platform, this segment. So
yes.
But yeah, that was worth the toast for sure.
It was.
And in 1 year.
We had to toast that.
1 year in adulthood is like, you know, 1 week as a kid, or a month, like a summer for a kid.
7 years.
It goes by so fast, y'all.
7 years in dog years.
Don't get me starting to talk about the science behind why time slows down.
No, we will not do that right now.
So we're having fun, man. I think the vibe that we bring today is fun, man.
Yes,
I feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's a good time. You poured a little rosé right here. I appreciate it.
Thank
you know what I'm saying? From Italy, holla.
We are finishing our last bottle of bubbly from Tuscany until April, when I'll probably order a separate case of it and send it back so we can have that on demands when we want it, because it's really great. It's a rosado.
Yeah.
It's really blush rosé, and it's
delicious. I'm not even a rosé person like that, and I was like, we have to get a bottle of this.
We got to get a bottle of this.
Get a bottle of this.
So we got
really
2.
Yeah. We have another one left?
No, we
we drink the other
2.
one.
We drank the other one.
Yeah, we drank the other one.
As soon as we got back.
We're here to talk about divorce today. Not us. Not this relationship.
Not us.
Because she ain't going nowhere. You see her in that orange dress over there? Listen, man. Jeez, I need to take you outside and keep you in at the same time.
I was going to say, you sure you want to take all this outside?
All this outside. Listen, man. Listen, son. These cats out here know the deal. You know what I mean? We're here to talk about divorce today.
Yeah, we are. We're going to talk about divorce. And I would say that these are our perspectives from our side of it. Yeah. And at this point, we done moved on. So us talking is mere documentation of what we experienced, or our take on it, and not intended to malign or
no. I ain't talking bad about nobody today.
We're just gonna talk about lessons learned. We're gonna talk about where we got and how we got over.
How we got there,
how we got there and how we got over.
Now, these little things, this outline for today, the stuff we have on the board is kind of like, it came from, of course, experience. Both of us, as we've mentioned previously, we both have been divorced twice. This is our third and last marriage.
Final.
You know what I'm saying? And I can speak for me and I can speak for you, because you ain't going nowhere. And I ain't going nowhere.
And we had that conversation already.
Yeah, it's a wrap. So, speaking from experience of things, and the first thing I put on the board is something that we kind of brought up previously on this show: identifying the gaps. Right? Is it safe to say that's one of the first stages that might lead to divorce, like if they're not addressed?
The gaps?
Yeah, the gaps.
Yes. However, I'll caveat that with, at 25 years old, or 24, did you even know what a gap was to identify?
No, conceptually, I didn't, call it that, or even, I just didn't have the knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So, looking back on a situation, I can identify the gaps.
Now,
you can identify the gaps, and then you learn from that. You know what I'm saying? Once you get, but as a young person, like, you just like, you want some bullshit.
I will say, I had some reflection, some time to reflect, and in my first marriage, there was some premarital counseling.
Okay.
There was some, at that point in time, I was in therapy because I was severely depressed, just coping with having 2 preemies back to back.
Hold up. But y'all got...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. One preemie.
Okay,
we got married after Jordan.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We got married after Jordan was born.
Gotcha. All right.
I'm sorry. After my oldest was born. Let me just...
you want me to beep out the name?
Yeah. With the premarital counseling, it was determined by the psychologist, you guys should not get married.
Damn. Well, was that is the first thing. So damn. So you did very much so. The gap existed before you even got married.
A professional literally
marriage counselor
told us. I had been in therapy, and then it was let's bring him in. The 2 of you, let's talk.
Okay, gotcha. And so it wasn't marriage. It was a therapist.
It was a therapist. Yeah. It was a therapist, but it was a couple session.
No, I get it.
Yeah, and we were advised, no.
Damn. That is crazy.
I had to really think and remember it all, and remember that happened.
That happened.
And what the fuck?
Yeah.
you don't listen to the professional, and you just say screw it and do it anyway.
That's the young and dumb shit right there.
That is young and dumb.
That's the young and dumb right there.
Could have saved a lifetime, not a lifetime, but could have saved years of trauma. All the things, could have saved everything if we would have just listened.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I look back at those type of things, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, look at what came out of it, right?
Absolutely.
Look at what came out of it.
Absolutely.
Right? So you walk in the dirt, right? With your socks, you walk in the dirt without shoes, and your socks get dirty. And you're like, damn, I should have never walked in the dirt. But you compacted some soil that helped a seed sprout into something beautiful at some point. Like, what I'm saying? That kind of thing. Like,
absolutely.
So but yeah.
So gaps were professionally identified.
Professionally identified gaps is a new thing.
Because at that point, we didn't know. I mean, we knew we had strife.
Yeah.
We knew we had disagreements.
Yeah.
We knew we had differing personalities.
Did getting married just feel like the right thing to do because of your child?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of that was 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Pressure. At that time, all the friend group is getting married. And everybody.
You gotta get your house.
Had a house.
The dog and stuff.
Had a house in suburbia. I was miserable. But looked past all of that and said, oh, screw it. We're just going to do it anyway.
Man. Yo, let me. And then, okay, so I don't want to speed ahead too fast. Well, right?
Are you gonna?
So I'll share. Yeah. I'll share. But I do want to know, like, after you got married, this is a lesson for everybody. Did the act of getting married, in the process of getting married, fill any of those gaps?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
We actually called it off.
Twice. Oh, y'all was crazy.
Twice. Because at one point, my parents decided to pull the money.
That's right. Yeah. So no one was in favor of this. So, okay, this is getting deep now.
It's getting deep.
So was there an aspect of feeling shame with the idea of not doing it because you had a child out of wedlock?
Mm-hmm.
I
felt like, okay, this is what's supposed to happen. And I did not want her to grow up in a broken household. I just didn't want it because I knew what I had experienced just by being raised by other people.
Yeah.
So I just did not want that.
Oh,
for
yeah,
her.
your past and stuff. Yep. I understand that.
So you make these decisions based on traumas, unresolved traumas. You make decisions based on immaturity, lack of knowledge, lack of knowledge of self.
And wisdom.
Yep. All those things.
So in the beginning, my first marriage, my first gap was identified at the ceremony itself. So I'm Muslim, she's Muslim. We had an Islamic ceremony first, and then I believe she can correct me on this, what order, but I believe we went to the Justice of the Peace afterwards.
Okay.
So because that was the meaningful part, the Islamic ceremony, whatever. So we right there in Brooklyn, on the corner of Bedford and Fulton, right, in the masjid, and Imam Siraj says. He's saying this thing, whatever, and he's like, he's talking to her. Okay. And he's saying some your job. He's telling us what our jobs are here, and you agree to doing your job. And he's like, he used the word that the black woman delegation has since outlawed.
Oh no,
obey. And she had a reaction like that, and everybody ha ha ha, and everybody just chuckled and kept it moving. But that was a sign right there.
Did your face? What did you do? What was your reaction?
I was young and dumb. I just chuckled and it was like ha ha. You know what I'm saying? I know nothing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then really, what were you gonna do at that point? You know what I'm saying? Get up and walk out. My parents done came down. Yeah. All the pressures that you spoke about.
Yeah.
Right. That pressures factor into you making decisions that maybe you could kind of get out of, and you might not get out of it because of those things, those elements.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But it was just a funny moment. But it's something that I looked back at as indicative of what was to come. And it's not something that I'm just putting on her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was my inability to even be wise enough and know how to deal with a personality such as hers.
Gotcha.
At that time, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So my lack of growth and my youngness, whatever you want to call it, definitely weighed in to everything being where it was. But that's the early gap right there for sure.
Wow.
And so they existed before we even got married, and I think that's probably the story for a lot of young people who get married.
Young, I think, as I've said to my two, I don't think anybody should get married before 30. You don't have the life experience. You don't have the self-awareness. You don't have the wherewithal to navigate what the hell is going on.
Right.
You're still figuring yourself out, the versions of yourself.
Right.
Out. I forgot one more thing.
Oh, shoot.
Also, the day of the ceremony, when my dad was about to walk me down the aisle, he said, and I quote, "Are you sure you want to do this?
Sure about this? Wow.
You don't have to do this."
Walking down the aisle. He said you don't have to do this?
Right before we walked down the aisle.
Damn. They were not feeling him. They were right. I mean, I don't want to say that.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk bad about him.
It was more about the foreshadowing, the foreseeing
of the problems
of what could come that your elders probably can see and don't necessarily tell you, or they just be like, we just gonna let y'all figure it out.
But in your case, they saw the existing problems.
Yes, the existing.
And they tried to save you from that.
Myself.
And I'm glad they failed, because all of that led to what God's choice was, and that's me.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild, man. And so like the early identification, like, okay, you're in this situation. I'm like, I'm in this situation. And for me, it's easy. Like, when do you communicate? You know what I'm saying? Like, we live with these problems and we try to just work through them without. Yes. But me, I'm an over communicator. So I'm going to say something. Gotcha. And sometimes in the past, I've learned over time, in the past, that has worked against me. Be careful what you ask for.
Yes.
Be careful what you ask for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, hey man, listen, you gotta talk. You know what I'm saying? If you got problems, if you got something concerning you, just talk to me. Let me know. Don't hold it in. And then before you know it, it's like, nigga, you got another problem? Jesus Christ.
The hose was going.
Right.
And this. And while you're at it.
I should call her up.
No, we're not going to do that.
No, that'd be funny.
We're not calling any exes.
It'd be funny. So the communication part for you.
Yes, I would say that at that point in time, as a single before, I was very self-aware. I was very boisterous. I was very taking no crap. You know, rah. I'm 5'1" and 80. I'm 5'1" and 90 pounds soaking wet at that point.
Yep.
And I felt like once the marriage happened, definitely learning the inability to communicate was happening, and the inability to feel comfortable or to feel safe enough to say what I was feeling or what was lacking, or what I needed more of, what I felt like I needed in order to be happy in the relationship.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And then how'd you work through that?
You just kind of ignore it. You just keep pushing through. You just live. You just push through stuff. You see stuff happening and you take a mental note and you hope, or you try to do something different to hope for a different outcome. You start to try to appease and accommodate, and you do things, and it just was it was a failed everybody has their own ideas of what marriage is. Everyone has, and if you don't know what your partner's idea of marriage is, you might be marrying a person who has a totally different idea of what the union should be like. And you might have an idea. And
y'all may have never communicated and talked about that.
Exactly.
What does it look like to you? What does it look like to you?
Because why? Because at 20-something, you ain't developed enough. Your frontal lobe is barely there.
It's not even developed
and
yet.
And you really don't know at that point to be doing
asking certain questions.
And then there's a little child involved, and you're already dealing with that, and it's just a mess.
Taj was born after we got my first marriage and whatnot, but it wasn't too long. But like I said in the last episode, I watched that documentary about kids being the most adaptable beings on the planet. And I was like, he be all right. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? But and then my second marriage, I identified the gaps were identified within 6 months. Before that, it was a few months, and I was like, dang, you know what's going on. Oh, you counting?
I'm counting. It was about 6 or 7.
Yeah. How about that?
And it was there was in the second marriage there was a disagreement of sorts when I found out about a lie. And that's when I leared that he didn't even like me.
You did say he doesn't act, and that's an important thing in a relationship.
Hey,
listen, liking the person that you're with is probably more important than loving the person that you're with.
He didn't even like me, and I learned that 6 months in, based on one argument.
That's crazy. You can just tell, all right?
What was said was very clear.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, that's right. You told me about all that.
There was a character thing said about me, and I was like, oh, hold up. Because this is 40-year-old me. Now, this is not 20-something.
You're wise. You got some wisdom.
I done been in therapy a few times.
You was outside.
I done been around some things. I done took some meds and did some things. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Trizaptophene or whatever.
Whatever it was. I was like, hold up. Put it in reverse. You don't even like me.
You want to run that by me one more time there, young fella? You don't like me.
You don't even like me.
Wow.
And there's no going back from that. If the person doesn't like you and they very clearly express that,
it's time to go.
There's nothing else.
It's time to go.
There's nothing else. There's no respect. There's nothing when you learn that part. And then it's just like, oh, okay. You fucked up.
Yeah.
Talking to myself.
I'm about to say, talking to yourself. Damn.
You fucked up again.
Yeah.
And now you got to get out.
Yeah. And is that when you start telling yourself this one don't count?
The kids said it first.
They said it first?
They said it first.
They said, Ma, this don't count.
Don't
Don't worry. We was there. We saw it.
Yeah.
They saw everything.
They saw everything.
Your first marriage was longer,
young.
and the second one was short. My first one was short. Second one was a longer marriage. This is flip-flop.
Yeah.
But we both had that 6-month revelation in that second marriage. And if she's watching or anybody who knows her, shout out to her, man. It's all cool. And the next thing in this conversation is the accountability. When did that show its face? When the accountability, or was there any accountability on our behalf in these relationships when things were going crazy?
Absolutely accountability, because there was a 6-year gap between my first divorce and my second marriage.
Wow.
6 years. But we were split 8. It took 2 It took 2 years to get divorced from my first marriage.
That's no joke. I think that's up there too.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
We'll get to that. So here is what the accountability part of going from 1 to 2, or recognizing symptoms. Or it's not symptoms, but it's
symptoms.
I recognized that in my first marriage, it was lacking, certain things, certain affections, certain feel goods, open communication, a feeling of support, a feeling that I wasn't alone and going through, things, and my health, and just fight or flight. There was a lot of fight or flight in between the first and the second.
Yeah.
And when the second was occurring, it was like a lot of love bombing, and it was like the total opposite of what I had in the first marriage. The interaction, the attention I was getting, the support I was getting, the help with the girls that I was getting. There were so many things. I was getting flowers. I was getting, romanticized, but I learned later that that's called love bombing.
Because he didn't have anything to back it up. It was just all empty.
Yeah. So I was so busy trying to run from what I had already experienced, and I was like, whatever I do, I'm not putting myself in that situation again, that I ran into a whole nother thing that I just wasn't recognizing. And the accountability for me was, I should have
Uh-oh.
How do I say this? I should have been investigator Trina that I normally am.
This is just in the second one.
In the second.
Right, because it's sounding like the douchebagness in the second one was pretty one-sided. You didn't necessarily you were older, you knew things. It was just a horrible situation.
It was just a very bad, different values aligning.
Yeah.
There weren't shared values. Killed my credit score. Just a lot of stuff. But ultimately, if I had been investigator Trina, like I am for my friends,
like she was for me,
you live and you learn. I would have known better. So, and that's the accountability for me, and not recognizing. So that was for the second. For my first marriage, when accountability shows up, it's just paying attention to the signs that were permeating throughout the marriage, so to speak, and ignoring them because you're just trying to just keep it together, keep up appearances, maybe. Of realizing the part I played in maintaining a facade.
Okay, I was about to give you some pushback.
Yeah, I played a huge part in maintaining an image.
Right.
And at the same time, I was, because I so wanted to be with the father of my children and have this, all that stuff, that I was willing to bleed myself dry for it.
Right.
And for what?
Right.
For what?
Yeah.
For why?
Yeah.
Oh, and also I spent so much money on therapy in both situations that it just okay, you talking about it, you know what's wrong with you, you know what's happening, and you're just gonna keep living with it.
It's gonna ignore. You ignored the signs.
Yes.
I don't know. For my first marriage, I probably was too young to identify take account. I thought I was doing things right. I thought I was I put forth major effort and all that kind of stuff. So later on, you know what I'm saying, of course I take accountability today. You know what I'm saying? I know I was young, dumb. I didn't, you know, I just had no tact. I had no strategy, no approach. I just, you know, I just didn't know a lot of things and whatnot. And her too. It's more of a, for me in that first relationship, it's more of a timing and matchup thing than it has nothing to do with her being a bad person or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so this is my son's mom. She's cool. Everything is cool. We had some rough times. Yeah. Like, you know, it's been some rough times. You know what I'm saying? But you know, she's cool. Yeah. But with my first one, the second one, excuse me, the accountability came in a form of it, like during the situation. This tough because again, I was so present. I communicate a lot, right? And then things just tanked, and I'm like, well, the level of accountability that I took at the time was maybe she's just not attracted to me anymore. I like my ego is not that big where I can think that someone couldn't be attracted to me. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even if they were at some point. So maybe, you know, I'm doing something wrong. Maybe it's me because this is the second time now.
Right. And there are the pressures of the second time.
Yes.
Because you think for me, I had a big failure complex thing going on. I failed at the first, You have a failure complex. You don't let the fail at anything. Okay. Well. And none of us do, but it's different for Trina. Yes, it is. Knowing that I was unsuccessful the first time, to turn around and realize that it was going down navigating down that road.
Here we go
again. But let me ask you a question. With you self-identifying as an over-communicator, did your second marriage, did she over communicate back or did she hold back? Like, did y'all communicate?
Oh, I did. I mean, I did, and yes, we communicated. Yeah, because I would bring things to the table. Like I didn't sit on, you know, the bad shit like for a long time. Like like I said, within 6 months, I was saying, "Hey, what's going on?" Okay. You know what I mean?
Did you ever get an answer?
Yeah, but it just didn't shape up. So I was like, well, maybe she just, you know, the attraction thing just went away, you know what I'm saying? Or whatever. Maybe something like that happened. Yeah. Because like I got invited into the therapy session. Oh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got invited into the therapy session and I said everything that I had been saying to her and she acknowledged it and said I was right about what I was saying. You know what? My first marriage, we went to therapy as well. We went to therapy, and how do I say this? I'm not gonna say it because to protect her, I don't want to say what specifically. But in the therapy session, I pointed out what I thought was happening, and she broke down, you know, and it was acknowledged that you're right about this. Okay. And then, you know, from where we had to go from there, it was, you know, we had to figure out. But so fast forward in the second one and whatnot, I was just like, and maybe the way I am is off. Maybe this doesn't work.
I was going to say, did you get feedback that it was too much communication?
No, I didn't get feedback. Like I didn't get feedback. I don't know what happened to this day. I don't know what happened. It just stopped being whatever it was. And, you know, there were signs before marriage, even in the second one as well, that I won't bring up because they're personal stuff about her and whatever. So I don't want to do that. Yeah. But there were things that I ignored that I shouldn't have. And, you know, especially knowing the person that I am. But yeah, man, so then later on, going back, I take accountability. Like I handled certain things in that second marriage completely wrong. I was once where are we here? We're
I was gonna say,
right.
so
yeah.
do you?
Because I'm about to go.
Okay. Do you get to a point once you accept accountability and have the realization of, okay, this is the current state of affairs?
Yeah.
When do you say, all right, I'm about to be out?
Man.
And how long does it take?
I mentioned this on the pod in the previous episode. In the moment I worked in an agency in DC. We're still like this. We're still like this about our like jobs, and we are on our way out.
I am unemployed.
She is out.
Okay.
I still don't talk freely about the type of places that I worked at, but I probably could say. But either way,
yes.
It's not like people don't know the place is there. So,
right.
I worked I'm still gonna say this at an agency. And we were just like arguing and just like calling the phone, arguing in person on the phone. I'm at work. I had coworkers close the door while I'm on the phone with her arguing and stuff. It was crazy.
Arguing?
Yes, that's exactly right. And then I went outside and I called my dad, and that's when he told me. That's when he said, "What you have to do is make a decision and go with it. Whatever's gonna be, either you're gonna stay or you're gonna be gone." And I was like, that was a moment, and I was like, I'm out. I'm out. And once I'll say some funny stuff now. I hope she thinks it's funny today, if she ever sees this.
Because people don't watch.
Right.
Nobody watches us.
We don't need y'all to watch. We got other people that we gonna have watch.
Y'all don't watch. Y'all don't listen.
No, I'm joking. Love y'all. I love our supporters.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? All three of y'all.
Shout out to the three of y'all.
That's when I realized it. And so we're living in an apartment, right? So I actually, in Islam, right, you actually have to pronounce your divorce. You have to announce your divorce to the other person 3 times.
Oh, like French Montana's fiance did with her last husband. She divorced him. She put it on Instagram
3 times.
Yes, 3 times.
3 times.
Yes.
I don't know about the timing in between. I don't know if you can do all 3 at once, whatever. But I went through the process and whatnot, wow. and at this point it's a wrap. Mm-hmm. We live in this apartment. I'm sleeping in the living room. Loving it.
Loving.
We had the pull-out sofa. I had the TV. I'm watching basketball.
You watching sports,
football, because Taj he was young and stuff. Yeah. And I started apartment searching, and I remember coming home one day. I was so young. I wasn't trying to be an asshole, but I came home like she was my homie. I'm like, yo, I found a spot. So I got a spot. I signed the lease. I'm moving out such and such day, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not all excited. I started buying stuff. I had an ironing board behind the couch. I had all my stuff behind the couch because I was like, you can keep all this stuff. You can keep all the stuff here. The sofa, the bed, all the stuff. You can keep all of it. I don't need any of this. I moved out without any of that stuff. I just taking my TV. But we lived in this apartment, and I had stuff behind the couch just stacking up that I was buying from Target or whatever it was, at the time. And with no just idea of how that might be affecting her mentally.
Yeah, because she got a baby.
Yes.
The family is breaking apart.
Yes. Young and dumb, yo. No idea.
Putting your IKEA furniture in the corner.
Probably some IKEA shit. Yeah. I didn't identify it then. I identified it later. In my second marriage, I identified the insensitive way I moved at times because we were living in the same house, and the relationship was, in my mind, it was over.
Gotcha.
And I thought it was over in her mind as well. But it's not something that we said, hey, it's over. And maybe we did. That might have been communicated, but it wasn't like a formal. I don't think it was a formal thing. Like, we're living in this house. You know what? No, that got communicated too. It all got communicated. So But I still moved in a way at times that was insensitive while living in the same house with this person.
Okay.
Because the relationship was over.
Gotcha.
And I started moving like it was over.
Oh, Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
I would ask the question, but I'll wait. I'll save it because that's later down the line.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, and that was insensitive and that was wrong and whatnot. But it's a tough situation.
Yeah.
Because when you've bought 2 houses, you know what I'm saying? You have a tenant and in one of the houses. So where do you go? So you're like, where do you go? What do you do?
Right. The tenant
What,
gotta go
what do you do?
Where to live.
Yo, and that was one of the moments that is you bringing that up. The moment that I told my tenant she had to leave I regret that. It was horrible. I felt so bad because she was a great person.
Gotcha.
I put her in a bad spot. You know what I'm saying? But I went to see an apartment that was so tiny, and I was like, I can't do this. My house is big. Both of the houses were huge.
But it was just you. You were downsizing though.
Still, man, it's like it's a, you know what I'm saying, it's a mental thing. Yes. So I hope I'm not running down the list too fast, but yeah, so that is a moment that I regret, and if I ever saw her face to face I would tell her that.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so yeah, that's where it is.
Gotcha. Got you. So am I supposed to say when I had the realization?
Go for it. Yes, please. The realization that it was over.
Well, with the sale of the first house, when we lived further out, we had discussed going our separate ways. Came into a lot of money off the house sale, and then somehow or another, we wind up going to build another and stay together. Built a McMansion.
I've been there, yo.
Built a McMansion in Lorton. The market, that was before the market was, took some of the money from there and went and built from the ground up. I was like the foreman. I had my own hat showing up.
The foreman used that person.
Showing up. Pointed out that they were doing electricity wrong for my bathtub because I had a TV going over my tub, my soaking tub.
Mercy.
The TV is in the wrong place because how am I going to sit right there if the fountain is right? Like, come on. I need y'all to move this.
You had a fountain in the house?
No, I meant like the
faucet.
The faucet. The
faucet.
Damn. And there were times that things have happened and I relayed to my family that I was leaving. And I didn't. Continuously. That thing. And then there was a moment, I will never forget it, in 2007. A legal action happened that came my way. And I read the documentation that said something like inappropriate conduct or relationships with a woman at work that was not his wife.
You said a lot just now on the show. It's all good. Go ahead.
Is that?
No, go ahead. It is what it is.
Okay. So at that point, I'm asking questions because I'm like, well, what does this mean? What is this? And still, it didn't click for me what was going on. I just kind of, and I was at that point, I had surgery, so I was home on disability, recovering and all of that. And then later on, more events were occurring, and my mother had to pull me aside and tell me what was going on.
How she knew somehow?
She knew because my dad knew, and he told her.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He didn't tell me.
Yeah.
She told me.
Right.
And then from there,
woman to woman.
And then from there,
that's the process, right? Right. Are we there? Once you find out how long it actually takes to leave.
Yeah. Especially if you got littles.
It's not easy.
If you got kids, it's really not easy.
It's not easy.
It's not easy to
houses,
kids, futures, just all the things when you think about
finances tied in together.
Finances tied in, security clearances, worrying about how this is going to affect my finances. Can I even afford it?
Yep.
At that point in time, I was barely clearing. I was making like $69,000.
Lord.
Back then.
Right.
While my career was on the uptick, that's still not a lot of money to live.
Not in the DMV.
No, not in the DMV.
To be clear about that.
To live.
See, I know 69 might sound like a lot. It might be a lot for some people that might be watching. Won't be insensitive to that.
I don't want to be
in the DMV,
that ain't nothing.
I was making 65 out of the military in 2001.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's no
I
joke.
started out really low grade in the federal government and worked my way up.
Yeah.
And being I'm thinking ahead, like being a single mom, how am I going to pay my bills?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay the rent? How am I going to take care of them? How am I going to do all these things? Because I know what it means once the decision is made.
Yeah.
Hey. So, it was very difficult.
So how long do you think, if you can estimate, to from you knowing it was time to leave to you actually leaving?
First off, I was not in a place even ready to leave. I wasn't financially prepared.
Right.
My mom gave me the money for the place.
Yeah.
To move.
Yeah.
And it was I cannot stay here and traumatize myself anymore because people start moving different. When people really start moving and coming in like they outside, like outside, like coming in and taking off your clothes and putting them in the machine type outside.
Oh shit.
So I knew that for my own well-being and to control my blood rage, that I needed to move out.
That meant she didn't want to have to kill a nigga.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Yeah, it took it, and how long the realization occurred a long time before.
Right.
So you figure like 05, 04, stayed to 07 when I got the clear definition, and I didn't move out until 2008. So you figure 4 years of,
Yo, and that's a lesson. Right. Mm-hmm. Anybody out there that might be going through a divorce, thinking about divorce, whatever it is, don't beat yourself up. It's not an easy thing.
It's a hard decision to make, to break up your family.
Yeah, and even when you don't have to be rich for you to have finances tied up to the point where it hurts you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bankruptcy is a thing. We'll talk about that on another episode. For sure.
Yes.
But you're carrying stuff, and for me it's like as the man or whatever, these old school views and everything. Like I said, keep all the furniture.
Yeah.
Don't worry about none of this. Yeah. I'll take this. Whatever. We did split stuff up in my second situation and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But I had a lot. Financially, I was in a rough space.
I was in a very rough, very, very, and reporting responsibilities are real. I was the person that people reported.
So you had to be on point.
So I had to report to a senior level official what was going on in my life. Yeah. And that was not fun, and that was scary. And back then, you thought people did lose their jobs back then.
Yeah, in old school, when it comes to clearances and stuff like that,
finances,
people were, you can lose your job.
And I was
nowadays,
I was fortunate enough to be a civilian. It's very different if I was a contractor and all that.
Like that.
They wouldn't even waste the time to make me red and J-Pass.
Adios.
For those who know, Right. So it took about 4 years, and then I decided to leave the house, which was highly against what my lawyer recommended. My lawyer said I should stay there. I said, I can't afford this house.
Right. I'm have him leave and you stay here. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, because of the kids and the just all the things, I guess, legally. And I was like, I'm gonna take the kids and I'm gonna go. You stay here.
You got it.
You got it.
You got a champ.
You got it. And it was just a series of drama and drawn out and, you know, all of the bad things, all of the bad things that make you realize that it's over.
Yeah.
All the bad behaviors, the calling of the police, all of the things that you can think of that reaffirm for you that it's over. I definitely had those in my face.
And pause. And we are like those times, right? I lost my thought. It led to this is what I was gonna say. Those times, it's hard for us to picture each other in those times. Like you being so angry and calling the police, or me like I was saying earlier, arguing loudly on the phone and stuff like that. We have such a loving relationship that it's hard for me to picture that with you. And actually, when you tell me stories of people hurting you in the past that I wasn't even in the picture yet, I get upset about it. You know what I mean? Like I don't understand how a person could not like this person. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, relationships are about two people. Yeah. You know, or more for some of y'all.
Yeah. In hindsight, I was not the best wife at that age because I was young and I was juggling 2 kids and I was juggling depression and I was juggling postpartum depression. Yeah. I was feeling like I had lost my life because DC, what I had a vision for my life being is not what was going on. My friends were doing this. I used to be Miss CBC Weekend. Right. I was always at the Sony party. I was always at the Chicago party. I was at all of the stuff.
Damn, that's a great point.
And I had to step back and I was angry about that.
You're Miss DC.
Yes.
In your own right. And now you're all the way down in Lorton, Virginia, living in the house with you know what I'm saying, kids and a husband.
At first it was Woodbridge, so push it down there a little further. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's no joke.
No friends. Yeah. Nobody. And I was the first friend of the friend group that started having kids other than Gypsy J. She was my only other friend from college who had a kid. Everybody else was getting their masters, getting PhDs. I walked away from PhD. I walked away from all of that stuff. So
yeah, that's no joke. But here we are, right? Yes. Like I said, in a loving relationship. Hey. And what did it take to get here? When we get back from this break, real quick, healing. We'll talk a little bit about the healing and maneuvering through this new thing of being out of a relationship and by yourself on your own. Yeah. We back.
So. In the midst of all of this, what was going on with me way back then in the early 2000s, 2010s.
99 to the 2000s?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. I think I read every Iyanla Vanzant book that came out.
Oh, Iyanla, right? Iyanla. Oh, God. What was that first book she came out with that everybody went crazy about? I can't remember.
Every healing book. I probably got them in there.
Healing books.
Every healing book that came out at Barnes & Noble or wherever, I was going to buy it. Yeah. I was buying every Iyanla book, beloved. Just all the work that I needed to do
love yourself
for myself,
books.
to love yourself, to heal yourself, the finding your divine energy, the caring for yourself, and the healing, the work that you need to do, the trauma work, all those things. Writing. I can't even remember the names of those books, but my healing journey started with Iyanla Vanzant.
I hear you. You gotta do what you gotta do.
And also, looking at the community / village that was around me through the divorce and knowing that there were people who were aware of what was happening and didn't protect me. There were people who didn't hold him accountable. I've never said this before aloud, and I'm just going to say I had the pleasure of having a document or 2 or an envelope couriered to me that gave me printouts of conversations, emails, text messages, all these things. It was delivered to me before my hearing for my divorce. I knew that there were actual people who knew what was going on at events, saw things, pictures, emailed out stuff. And these people did not have my back.
Right.
And those are people that I had to separate.
People that should have.
And those are people that I had to separate from and that are no longer in my life.
Yeah.
Because they were I when you get married and you are friends with the wife and the husband, but one of them is stepping out, being out in the street, and you know about it, and nobody, holds anybody accountable.
Yeah.
There are multiple people that I do not talk to. There's a whole organization that I removed myself from because I felt like they did not protect me.
That's crazy. That's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
But, at least you had the wherewithal and the strength to make that decision to say, hey, we can no longer be.
You can't heal if you're staying around the same toxicity.
No doubt.
You can't heal in the swamp with the poison.
Yep.
You gotta get out. So, I know a lot of people that I hid a lot of stuff from my friends. I isolated myself. I was depressed. I was sad. I couldn't do things. I couldn't participate in stuff because I was just so beat down. And I knew I had to do the work to pull myself back together.
That's crazy.
So
that's crazy, man. So your books and everything.
My Iyanla books, my therapy sessions, the friends who are still here, day parties. That is not healing.
Hey man, it kind of is. You know what I'm saying? Miami trips. You know what I mean? I was outside.
Listen, drinking when you're having a divorce, and let me just also say, I went through multiple things that were happening at the same time that someone would consider like cataclysmic life events. I was in the room when my grandfather took his last breath. My daughter came down with a critical disease. I lost my house, and at the same time, I was getting a divorce. They were all happening at the same exact time.
That's a lot, yo.
Yes.
That's a whole lot. It takes a lot of strength, you know what I mean? And it does take support, a support unit, to get through something like that.
I'm very grateful that my parents moved down here when they did.
Yeah.
Because I needed them.
Down to the DMV area.
Yes, I needed them at that time. I would not have been able to make it through what I was going through with her getting better with everything and taking care of my other child.
Yeah.
And it was healing.
Was it a coincidence? That's just something they did on their own, or did they move down there because of you?
Yeah, because of me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot. Rediscovering yourself.
Mm-hmm. I had locks back then.
Yeah, the healing for me. I mean, the first one there was no healing then. Really, I was just happy. Like I said, I was happy before I even left the apartment. I was just happy. I was young. It was just like a relationship. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That just ended. I've been in relationships that ended before. It wasn't like
we all have.
It wasn't like, oh, my marriage, marriage is failing. I'm a failure to my family. I didn't feel any of that.
Okay, that's
I've
good.
never felt that.
That's
ever.
Great.
Yeah, like I've said it on the old pod. Like marriages are relationships, and you only truly succeed, if you're lucky in one relationship for your lifetime.
Yeah.
The rest of them, they come, you try your best, and then they either fail or they end in whatever way.
Everybody doesn't have like our grandparents who just stayed through the bullshit.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey man, listen, I showed up, I did my best, and and that's it. But the second one, I had financially, like we spoke about briefly, stuff, whatever, and we'll get into that in another episode for sure. That whole concept, you know what I'm saying? But I had like a girlfriend fast, like right out of that.
I was gonna say, so when do you get outside? Do you get outside before the decree is signed, or are you outside like? Because mine took 2 years. So are you outside during those 2 years you waiting, or what you doing? Because do you wait, or do you hide it? Do you sneak? Like, what do you do in the midst of a situation where you're separating?
I mean, for me, like the first time, I was like newly Muslim, a few years before that, I was at the masjid. I was at the mosque. I was just spending time with Taj. I wasn't even like, it's like a blur almost when it comes to like women. I don't even know if I was like even dating like that. I was, yeah, it wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that. I wasn't outside like that.
Did you think you were going to find another Muslim woman? Were you planning on that?
Not necessarily, because back then, I wasn't as, I had just become a little bit more open as far as dating outside of the black race. And Latinos. Like, I was always into that as a kid, youngster too. So the idea of marrying a Muslim woman back then was, I got to go to the imam. I got to talk to him. He got to go talk to somebody. And maybe I'll go to Morocco or something like that. Like a lot of brothers was going to Morocco and and then courting.
Okay.
And it wasn't like some arranged shit. You going over there, you're courting someone and y'all making a decision to get married and live and not live in sin. So it's not like dating and having sex and going out and shit like that. Like,
right.
It's a structured situation. And I wasn't ready for that. I was driving around. I was going to the mosque and stuff and still ready to scrap with somebody if I had to. Like I still had 1 foot in, 1 foot, not 1 foot out, but I just, that mentality wasn't there for me yet. So I didn't think that was necessarily going to happen. But I wasn't really thinking about being in a relationship. Like I was just like making it happen. I was going to IKEA, like you said, to get a futon. Like I need somewhere to sleep. I need somewhere for my son to sleep. Like I'm just fighting to get my son half time. That was consuming for me. Okay. You know what I mean? And then eventually I started like slowly getting out and moving around and stuff like that. But then shortly after that, I met it wasn't too long. It was a few years or so, but I believe. But and I met my second wife, whatever. Then we dated and stuff like that. But after the second one, going out of that, I wasn't like outside like that because, like I said, shortly I had a girlfriend. It was like boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
It was boom, boom. Wow. And then, but after that ended, that's a whole other episode, y'all. Yeah, maybe I have to talk about that on a whole other podcast.
That's not gonna be with me sitting there.
No, I ain't talking about none of that because I don't want to hear your shit. But so that I guess I took time for myself. I immersed myself in in my faith, whatever. The first time, and my son. You know what I'm saying? That provided everything I needed. At that time. And the second time, like I said, into another relationship or whatever. So I didn't really, I didn't heal myself, to be honest, because I shouldn't have stepped right into another relationship.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? And that ended up being bullshit. Okay. You know what I mean? And then, then there's years of just fucking, being in the dark and not thinking this was ever going to happen again until we met. You know what I mean? So how about
So after my first marriage, I was already at church. I was going to church.
Oh, that's that time period.
Yeah.
Right.
And so like, first of all, the men start to figure out, they start watching you. They know who's coming in and they're just coming in with the kids and there ain't no husband behind her. Yeah. Ain't no ring ain't no ring on her finger. Right. And there's, and then they start moving, sitting at the same aisle as you and Sister Trina. Yeah. And I loved my church. Like I really loved what they were doing until they told me not to leave the marriage. That if he wasn't beating me, that I should just stay. Yeah, that was a problem. But aside from that, I loved the youth programs that they were doing. I loved that the kids had a place to learn and commune with their friends. It's a similar thing.
You immerse yourself in.
And so I was going to church. Wednesday Bible studies, Sunday 2 services, taking the kids, and then whatever kids activities they were doing and doing the volunteer work and stuff like that. But I refused to date anybody at church. I refused. And then there were people from work who were also at my church.
Why did you refuse to date anybody at church?
Because they already looking at you as a single mom like something's wrong, like you're broken because you don't, and I just didn't want to. Okay. I didn't want to. And also, I mean, keep it a buck. There were other men that were interested in me who were not, there at church.
Right.
And so, I kind of was, once I knew what was going on with the first marriage, I started, interacting with other men.
Okay.
But nothing to the point of, no seriousness, no, couple people dated.
Yeah.
Went outside, went to a lot of day parties, and just got a babysitter. A good babysitter, reliable, a solid babysitter for my every other weekend.
I'm not coming home from work today. Can you go get the kids?
Or it was when it wasn't my weekend. Those were single sexy Trina weekends.
Right.
So my friends knew, is it single sexy Trina weekend? Are we going out? Are we going to happy hour? Are we doing this? Are we going to movies? There was stuff.
Yeah.
And I was not ready. I did get into a quote unquote kind of serious relationship with a gentleman. I ended up hurting him because I was not divorced and there was drama and he knew what was going on. And he was just like, hey, listen, like how much longer are y'all going to go back and forth with this?
You and your ex.
But it wasn't me. It was that it was kind of it must have been figured out that I was seeing somebody.
Have that, right?
And then all of a sudden weekends are getting canceled. I can't get the kids. It's my week. I can't do it. Yeah. You have to figure it out. Yeah. And it was unfortunate. And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to be serious with anybody. I needed some time to breathe. I had been married in my good years of my 20s. The good
you lost your good years.
Praise the Lord that I still looked good.
Right.
And I was still small and had my waist about me.
You still look good today.
My boobs still sat up a little higher so I could get out there.
You still got it.
Thank you. So I was in Miami because Takiyah lived in Miami by then. So I could go.
I'm sure we walked by each other in Miami. No, we was going in October. You wasn't going in October.
No, I was in.
We was going for Carnival.
I was there every February for my birthday.
We was going in October.
So yeah.
That's. I mean, everyone has their process, man. Give yourself time.
Please.
I mean, we hope the best for everyone. We don't wish divorce on anyone, but it's a reality of life, right?
It is.
And if you're going through it, just understand that. Hopefully, we're able to share something here today, just to let you know that you're not the only one going through whatever you might be going through. Like, it's a whole lot of. We didn't even talk about everything. We're leaving us on the surface because we have people to protect. And we just don't want to put too much stuff out there. Trust me, we didn't. But just know that, it's okay. Like, financially, you're going to go through some shit.
You're going to be broke.
It's okay. It's okay. You can work through it. You'll work through it. Trust me.
Even if you get to your second marriage and it becomes a divorce, it's okay. You're not going to die.
Not going to die, right.
I thought I was going to die after the second. When my second divorce was happening, I was like, this is it. I'm just going to die.
Look,
I'm going to be alone. I'm going to die alone because going back into the dating scene at 40 something.
Yeah, buddy.
And the DMV, hell no.
Look, at our age, our friends are around our age. If you're going through a second divorce at this point, I think you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. You might be good.
Mail order.
Yeah, mail order husbands too.
Yeah, they got them too. I think they got them too.
Did we any lessons? Any? I mean, I kind of wrapped a little bit. Whatever. Anything you wanted to share on our way out here? We're gonna wrap this up. I would just
say that for me, it took a very long time to not feel like a failure, and you're not a failure. A lot of relationships end.
Yeah.
A lot just don't work. And it's more so about rediscovering who you are.
Yeah.
Understanding what your non-negotiables are. Communicating that clearly. And understanding who the other person is that you are considering coupling with.
Yeah.
And being clear that y'all are on the same page.
Yeah.
It'll save a ton of heartache and money. And all those things and sanity and therapy visits if just those things are outlined up front.
Yep.
Some people are dating actively for marriage. Some people just dating to be dating.
Yeah. Some
people don't want nothing serious. Find out what category the person is in.
Be clear, communicate.
Don't put the person who's just out here just living as your future husband or wife.
Don't assume they want the same thing you want.
Yeah, you're not a failure. I would say for the moms, yes, somebody else will want you. It was one said to me, who's going to want you? You got 2 kids and you can't have no more kids. somebody. You will meet somebody. You
Me?
will meet your person.
Me?
Yes, you will find your person. You will find happiness. You will find all the things that you felt were lacking before.
Nice. I like it. I dig it. That sounds like something you might be saying on your own podcast. Look at you practicing. You practicing on our podcast for your own podcast. I see what you're doing. I know what's going on. I see it. You're gonna still be expected to show up to work. You understand that, right?
Hey.
Yo, man, good luck out there, y'all.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? This world of relationships, man. Just make sure. I think we can. I've been using this as a hashtag, but I think we can wrap things up. Just telling people to lead with love, man.
Lead with love.
Lead with love. That's it.
LOVE.
That's it.
Yes.
All right, baby. We out. Love you.
Love you too.
Y'all be good, man. Cool.